Oh, the ghosting machine is real, it seems. I was about to add space news to my last post, and then it put my post to share. So there it is there. It labeled this space weather stopped astronomy transphobia. Too much fear and fear mongering about the corona in the sky called Helios, the sun.
Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Monday, October 28th, around 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. The geomagnetic storm was a fizzle, barely got to KP4. But we are watching major snow in the forecast, so keep calm. It's boom time. The first major snow of the season hits south central Alaska, prompting warnings of slick roads. And there is snow in the lower 48. Light snow accumulates in the northern parts of New Hampshire. And Colorado weather, Denver could see its first snow of the season. Wednesday, 2 feet are possible in the mountains. And Nebraska storm warning, high winds and hail threat overnight on Tuesday along I-80. So heed the warnings, and here's the full forecast. Record warmth spreads eastward as severe weather potential increases midweek. A strong Pacific system will track across the intermontane west early this week. Strong winds and higher elevation snow will affect western states. Further east, strong southerly winds will usher in record warmth for most of the central and eastern United States. Can you say Indian summer? Definitely.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
The threat for rapid spread of wildfires today, increasing the chance for severe thunderstorms for the center of the nation as well. We're going to get to the full forecast on the GFS. Right now, let's take a look at the MLS precip with snow. Ho, 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 and we'll walk it through for you. Here we are Tuesday morning. Throughout the day, you're going to see the west is going to be, there's going to be a lot of precipitation in the form of flooding rains as well as high elevation snows for Utah, Colorado, Wyoming. It looks like western Montana as well as the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, Oregon, and even some of that snow dipping down into the Sierras. And there you can see the front develop midweek and move across the U.S. with a severe weather threat from Nebraska through Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and moving east with snow on the tail end, especially for the Northeast. Let's take a look at the total snowfall coming from these systems. And we'll just go out a week from now. Here is Monday through Tuesday. Here is Wednesday. By Wednesday morning, heavy snow for the entire state of Wyoming, especially the high elevations. And we've got heavy snow for everything west of the Rocky Mountains. The worst area being hit, the southern mountains where we are, the South San Juans. So here is Tuesday to Wednesday morning, Wednesday to Thursday morning, Friday. By Friday, snow will have moved on the back end of that front through, say it ain't soda, Minnesota and Wisconsin and into eastern Canada. We've got another system that moves down through the Rocky Mountains next week, and to add insult to injury, one after another system. There's going to be record snow totals for British Columbia. Could be record snow totals here in Oregon. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a November to remember. The wait is over. British Columbia ski resorts brace for the first major snowstorm, followed by many others, which will slowly pile up to maybe 7 or 8 feet in the next 10 days. Absolutely insane. And heavy spring snowfall hits New Zealand as well. That's the southern hemisphere, folks. Eastern Russia buried early snow blankets in Mauna Kea. The rise in global volcanism as well. Is any of this true? Well, it's true that heavy spring snowfall did hit New Zealand, and they got their panties in a bunch there. The heavy spring snows not only closed roads, but also stranded numerous travelers. In fact, a bus carrying 26 passengers slid off the road en route to Mount Cook Village on Saturday, though fortunately no injuries were reported. We've also got Eastern Russia buried in the global warming goodness. As recently reported by RT, the city of Magadan in Eastern Russia has been hit by a heavy snowstorm, resulting in major disruptions with vehicles, emergency responders, and even snow plows becoming immobilized. Ukraine forecasts substantial first snows as well as the Russia cold is advancing westwards in all into Eastern Europe, including the Ukraine. Early snow blankets Mauna Kea as well. And this is Hawaii down by the equator, but winter is here. Read a Mauna Kea visitor information station Facebook post. As you can see, the station blanketed in the global warming goodness. And is there really a rise in global volcanism since the mid-90s? It's anyone's guess, and we haven't been watching long enough to actually care if this matters. Speaking of which, seismic update. No quakes of note worldwide, normal activity at low levels, which is good news. And let's take a look at Russia's Krenitsyna volcano. Absolutely spectacular. Here we can see Krenitsyna Peak. This volcano grew out of a major caldera, which is not called Krenitsyna. The caldera itself is massive. And after the crust dropped down into the hole, after the huge volcanic eruption which emptied the magma chamber, this little volcano grew out of the edifice in the final stages. The main caldera is called Taurusha caldera, and it is a spectacular caldera, but not a world-ending one. It erupted in 550 BCE at a VEI 6. So this is not like Tambora or Samalas, but a large caldera-forming eruption nonetheless, which would have certainly affected the weather on Earth and killed all the people in the local region. The good news is this volcano has only erupted as VEI 3 since its rebirth inside the caldera crater, and that was in 1952. We may see some similar activity as time progresses, but nothing empire-ending, in my opinion. And on with worldwide volcano news for the day. Our journey begins with Swanosima with a 6,000-foot blast, the first on the list for the day for the 28th of October. Ibu puffing to 7,000-foot, Popo to 26,000. That's going to increase as we move towards the present. Nayunagima, it seems like that volcanic eruption in Africa is coming to a close here with ongoing feeble eruption. Liwa Toby to 9. Manam on the list, 8,000-foot puff today. We've got Dukono to 8,000-foot. Ibu, 7,000-foot blast there. Fuego to 15. Liwa Toby to 9. Santo Rito, 14,000-foot blast. Sabancay to 21. Popo to 26. Nayara Maguna, ongoing feeble eruption as the eruption comes to a close there. Swanosima to 6,000. Sabancay to 21,000. Fuego to 15. Swanosima to 6. And let's get on with the list. Liwa Toby to 8. Swanosima to 8. Dukono to 8. I sound like a broken record. And finally, Popo back up to high numbers. A 30,000-foot blast just moments ago. Wrapping up worldwide volcano news for the day. Hey, hey. Quick look over here at space weather at solarham.com. The latest HMI intensity showing lots of sunspots directly facing Earth. The only problem is they're not flaring. They're not doing anything. We are at solar max. The data is low coming in from Starlink, but it is coming in. But we've got tons of sunspots facing Earth. None of them quite big. But these could still generate high-end, low-level X flares, in my opinion, if they were to become active. The only problem is they're not active. We did have a low-level, another impulsive M flare today. Let's see what we have to say about that. Yes, yeah, there is nothing. I think this was a limb eruption, so no space weather headed our way. The detailed 3-day geomagnetic forecast says we're going to be mostly psychic as we make our way. Take a look at this. To Halloween. Could be quite a psychic Halloween indeed. Telemetry showing the arrival of that X flare, the X1.8. It did arrive in 2 phases, none of them spectacular. The BZ didn't shift much, and no geomagnetic storm whatsoever. As we can see, plasma speed has been gently dropping off for the last 24 hours to 500 kilometers per second. Now, the first ever photo of Milky Way's black hole at its center is a complete lie.
Yep.
Some woman won a Nobel Prize for just 7 pixels, I think, in the shot, and it's completely fabricated. Not only is it not accurate, it might not be a black hole.
Supermassive black star.
It might have jets, and it might be something completely different. But the image showed that donut. Remember this?
Yeah.
The Nobel Prize winning donut was garbage.
Garbage.
Just like we said. How do you like them apples? Now, what else is garbage is our electoral system. Hundreds of ballots possibly burned after Vancouver ballot box arson. This is happening in a county in Washington State. The FBI is investigating. Yeah, Vancouver, Washington. A ballot box was burned in an arson Monday morning, according to authorities, with hundreds of ballots possibly damaged or destroyed in the fire. If you didn't think there was election fraud, here it's happening right here. So there you go. And remember the mainstream media saying, even the people, the government officials saying there is nothing happening in Aurora with Venezuelan gangs, Tren de Agua, are taking over apartment complexes. Are you kidding me? Well, no, we're not. We were being serious.
We were serious.
And we were right. Once again, the gaslighting continues as a whistleblower has disclosed Aurora police emails. 100 plus Venezuelan gang members operated in Metro Detroit over the last year or more, according to Aurora police emails, which we now have in our possession, and you can go check out too. So who knew? Now you do. Aurora officials knew or strongly suspected for much longer than previously disclosed that the Venezuelan gang operating in their city Tren de Agua was much larger than a handful of members at a single apartment complex, as they didn't even claim. They denied it. But according to emails obtained by the Denver Gazette, the authorities and the Democrat Party are full of shit, and they can suck it. Vote Trump. We just have a week to go, and you need to get out and vote on the Republican ticket. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned, and the country is being taken over by Venezuelan gangs. If you want to, AKA, deport them all, well then let's push that button for Donald Trump in just a few days. I've already voted. I already know my vote is in. Anything can happen before election time. Anything can happen on election day. If you're in a major city, make sure you vote early. If you're in a rural area, make sure you have a ride to the polls. We love all of you. Implore all of your friends and family to go out and vote against the communist globalist agenda, which is killing our country and making your groceries more expensive. And that's a boom. No.
it's not actually a communist global agenda. It's a national socialist global agenda that Nazi Zionists have blamed communists for. Community enthusiasm, community enthusiastic. Yes, the Commonwealth, what was it? Was there any country that was really communist? Was Russia communist? Is China communist? No, China is the People's Republic of China. They had a socialist revolution. USSR, United Soviet Socialist Republic. Nazi, National Allied Socialist Party. They're all socialists. But you see, the paperclip Nazis that own the United States media have misinformed the world by making them think community enthusiasm is evil. That enthusiasm for the competition, whether you're using another word, or enthusiasm for human race, is evil. So they have humanity with a twisted mentality that people jump down people's necks and say you're racist or anti-Semitic without really examining what those terms mean. Enthusiasm for the race or descent of Shem, a Semite, like Israelite, descent of Israel. The Zionists have used the term anti-Semitic to twist people away from reality and not realizing that the people, the Zionists, expelled and killed in the Levant, in the area that the country that's named Israel exists, were actually Palestinian, identifying Israelite descent, Shemitic descent peoples that from time immemorial did not end up in Europe like the ones that control the Zionists do. You see, a lot of Arabs and North Africans are actually more Semitic descent than the Zionists. A lot of prominent Jews had said Zionism is more equivalent to Nazism, even Albert Einstein. I have a lighter here. I do not think I bought one of these before because to me, the first time I bought a lighter with one of these to pull out, first time I bought a lighter with one of these to pull out was this one. Yet, I went to the store last time. I looked at a yellow one like this, but then decided to go for this one. And it's not the first time I've seen this at the store. But the awkward thing is that I have a memory of seeing it in this room from dream in the past, and I am pretty well sure, like 99.99% sure, 99999, that this is the first lighter like this I bought. I've kept I'm pretty sure I kept every single lighter I've bought since I've been at this domicile. It's not that I'd like to get to what's in there, but yeah. And I look twice in here and I don't see that right in here. And I'm pretty sure I did not throw away one lighter I bought from here. I just sign in here on this island. Hello, last person that just came in there. I'm just about to sign off. If you want to see what I said, you'll have to watch it as I share it right now. I was watching space weather, and I'm worried about all the astronomy transphobia. When the moon passes in front of the sun, that's called a transit. And it seems there's fear-mongering about looking up and directly looking at the sun, if you're able to. That's called transphobia. Astronomy transphobia. I have no care or no desire. That stuff doesn't make sense, the transgender stuff to me. For me, I know there was a debate in the 70s when I was a toddler about knee highs. If it is even scientifically sound or scientifically logical or makes any scientific sense to castrate a male for them to sing high. And I know a male does not have to be castrated to sing high. That is unscientific. So castrating a male or a female for any reason that I think of, it's unscientific. Female and male genitalia, that's unscientific. But yet the people pushing what they called the science on TV are not poly-scientists. They don't study all kinds of fields. The science they're pushing on TV, the science they're pushing on TV, is the lobbyist-based political science, which is not science. Political science, studying politics, government, how to manage a government, how to manage a business, that's not science. People might call it science, but it's not. The religion called Scientology, it might have science basis to some, but that neither is science. It's a cult. A cult. A sex cult as far as I know. Scientology. Too many sex cults out there dominating the world instead of cultures, genetic. All of us, human biological.